What's up, guys? Welcome to the No Nonsense live stream. It's Yaga. How we all doing? And I feel well. Fuck with this a little bit. No. It's the whole point of adjusting this stuff before I start the live stream. But fuck it, here we are. All right. So I touched on this. It's been a couple weeks. I didn't do a live stream last week just because. So 2 weeks ago, I talked about it a little bit about, dieting and everything like that, how I hate diets. So let's talk about health and diets. Why not? Let's talk about the things you don't like. Because my whole life, I've heard a million things about diets. And I'll tell you why I don't even like the word diet. We'll get to that later. But for right now, I don't know when this started, the 80s, sooner, I don't know. But for whatever reason, everybody always talks about the diet they're on, and especially today. I'm a vegan, vegetarian, keto, the Atkins diet. Those are probably the biggest things going on right now. Vegan's huge. People are doing keto, and they're like, "I'm dropping so much weight." It's like, okay, that's a great thing to lose weight because there are a bunch of fat people out there, and it's all a result of eating. So I want to talk a little bit about health. And I am not a health expert by any means, nor do I claim to be. I just know there's a lot of nonsense that exists. I speak honestly and truthfully, and I talk to you based on my own experiences and what I've seen, done, all this kind of stuff. So again, everybody's obsessed with diets today, right? Like I said, keto, vegan, vegetarian, whatever. Somebody's on a fucking diet and they swear to hell or high water that diet is the only way to be healthy. It's the best way. It's the way. Like, it's a way. And there are good things. It's not all bad. But I found human beings, me especially, I like to put everything in a special little compartment. A, B, and C, put in the direct plan, follow that plan, and then I stick to it like this is totally working. And I think there's just too much thinking going on. You ever think about maybe that's the problem with health and eating, right? There's too much thinking going on, or maybe your thinking sucks, and that's why you're unhealthy. Let me explain. So I've had this recent realization, like a revelatory moment in my life that I look back on my childhood when I was a fat kid. Okay, I've talked about this before. As a fat kid growing up, at some point around 7, I started to I ballooned out, and up until like high school. So for like till I was like almost 15, 16 years old that I finally lose some weight, like 16. So for a good 8 or 9 years or more, I was just pudgy. I was husky, that nice. I like how there was always husky as a kid. That was just a nice way to say you were fat. He's in the husky section. You're fat. Okay. So let's be honest here, because I'm always honest. We need to lose shitty language, weak language, which is something I think I'll talk about in another stream. Strong and weak language. Anyway, so I had this revelatory moment the other day, and I was talking to my lady about it, and I look back on those years of me being a pudgy kid in elementary school and junior high, and how I felt. Like, I was really super shy, awkward kid. I felt depressed, depression, right? And I had anxiety. I was mostly just very depressed. So just like I always felt awkward, And now that I look back on it, it wasn't like necessarily a lack of exercise or that. It was my eating habits. Okay. Now, my mother, God bless her, was amazing. She cooked dinner a lot. There'd be but I had a lot of the same foods like meatloaf, potatoes, butter, a lot of pastas, this and that, but then, shitty processed TV dinners, all this stuff. And I look back on it and I think being a kid of the 80s and 90s, a lot of my weight slash feelings came from shitty food. And I'm just going to say it, shitty food. And I've noticed because the last couple of years I've been eating, I've just changed my eating habits drastically to the point where my mind is very clear today and I can see things so much better in hindsight than I ever did while I was going through the shit, you know? And I'll explain a little bit more. So, and I think my depression, because I don't think depression exists. I do not think depression exists. And I know it's going to piss a lot of people off when you say that because there's a lot of people that are depressed that, just don't want to maybe accept the fact that it's all a mind induced thing and it's not an actual feeling, but it has to do a lot with the things we take into our body, not just eat, but visually take in, all this other stuff. But again, I think that's for another day. I've kind of talked about it before. So if you really want to know, just watch some of my other streams about depression. So having this revelatory moment the other day about looking at my childhood and the food I ate, the TV dinners, the McDonald's, the processed shit, just processed chemical things I can't pronounce. Because I've eliminated a lot of that from my eating at all. About a year and a half ago, roughly, I decided I was going to do my light exercise, and I've touched on this a bunch. I became willing to lift weights 30 minutes a day, and that's all I was doing because I'm not a gym guy. I don't want to go to the gym at 30 minutes, but I wanted to become a little toned up, a little stronger. And that doesn't happen by doing nothing, right? But on top of that, I've already was eating better and less shit. But what I started to do was eat meat like almost every day. Like I had a medium rare steak, and I fry it in butter literally almost every day for 6, 7 straight months. And I felt so great. And I would have eggs, that little bit of bread, but not a lot, mostly meat and eggs and just high protein shit, right? And I felt amazing. I felt incredible. Less soy is a big thing, and less anything I can't pronounce. Like if I pick up a box and there's 50 ingredients, I just don't eat it anymore. Okay. So I just felt great eating medium rare meat all the time. So my problem with diets that I have is that people will start a diet. And I did this when I was younger, and then they're really gung-ho again for a while, several weeks, maybe a month or two, and then they go back into their fuck it because they're not changing the habit for the reason that they want to make it a way of life. They're changing the habit for a short-term goal, which is usually something like I want to lose weight. I don't feel good. Maybe I'm depressed, blah, 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 blah. It's usually weight, I would say, is number one. Most people are like, I gotta lose some weight. I'm going to go on a diet. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like the word diet. Die is in there. But that's a word that's been going on for years, Matt. Diet. I'm like, dietary. Yeah, diet. The thing you take into your body that will make or break your life, your health. So I don't like the word diet. That could just be a small little suspicion, but hey, take what you want. Leave the rest behind. I don't care. So people get burnt out with diets, right? You do it for a while. But see, I think that's the problem is the restrictiveness. Now, if you can do it and you lack discipline in the first place, this is how I think a lot of people fall because they don't have the discipline to do it. And I'll tell you right now, I'm disciplined in a lot of areas in life, but I'm not disciplined to just eat and only eat and measure out. It's like, dude, I always picture this. I go, if we didn't have all this retarded shit, like measure out your stuff, no. And we didn't have options. Let's just say we were out in the woods and we were farming, and it was every man for himself. We don't get to be picky about food. Okay. So, what is the solution? I find that meat, vegetables, and fruit, those three things, stick with that. Everything will be good. And I said this before. It's like you don't need to. And people always say, "Well, no, that's not true. Everything in moderation, Matt." Oh, I hate that too. You can't have everything in moderation because that logic applied to any like eating or just life is so stupid because then it justifies shitty behavior and shitty choices too, right? Well, everything in moderation, cheating in moderation is okay. You gotta just it's like no, see, don't lie to yourself. Okay, you can't have moderation. And what I mean by that is you have to stop eating and like I stopped eating and anything with chemicals, anything. Pop, I quit over 4 years ago. Diet pop. And I used to think like, well, I was doing better with diet pop. No, it's bullshit. It's artificial everything in there. It's no good at all. Drink water, water only, and even water's iffy because God knows what you buy it. Smart water. You think that's not some trickery right there? Don't drink anything. Just drink only water. Water, and I drink coffee. I have no juice, no milk, no soda. I have a little itty bitty bit of like diet soda when I'm at work because it just helps me through the day. I'm not a complete asshole who's just like, oh, never do it. I'll never do it again. No, I'm honest with myself. And even that little bit, I go, it just makes me feel gross. The longer you take away the chemicals from your body and you allow your body to heal and adapt to not having a bunch of chemicals and shit in it, it will not crave it. You will not want it. And it will be like, thank you. And when you do, like, say, drink a diet soda, you'll feel like shit. So either taper off that shit. Don't try to do complete because that's ridiculous. But if you slowly taper off and just wean yourself off that stuff, then you never have it. You won't even want it. For example, I used to eat noodles with butter and cottage cheese. It's an old Slovak easy thing. You just take pasta, right? You brown butter, you throw the pasta in there, brown it in the butter, throw in a shit ton of cottage cheese, add salt, delicious, yet full of fat and carbs and all kinds of shit. I used to eat that all the time as a kid. That was like a normal meal for me as a child. And I loved it for 30 years. I ate it all the time. Now, I have pretty much lost the craving for pastas and any of that stuff to the point where when I do have it, I just don't, it doesn't satisfy me like a piece of medium rare steak or chicken or some kind of meat. It doesn't satisfy me the way it used to when I was a kid because I was so used to it. It was a habit. And I am convinced that because I have changed that much in my eating habits that I don't get depressed. Depression to me comes from things that you want externally, like whether it be more money, more job, more stuff, more da, 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 da. It's always that. And the only reason you're depressed is because it's a selfish thing. You don't have it or get it. That's usually where I find depression is at. So, right? So how do you battle to get to depression? Start with health and diet, not diet, but eating right. How do you eat right? You only need 3 things: meat, vegetables, fruit. The rest is up to you. You're not going to eat 6 bananas in a day. You might have a banana. You're not going to eat 5 oranges, but you can eat a box of fucking Oreo cookies, no problem, right? Because that's shitty sugar. And there's a bunch of shit in there that just makes you go, I want more of it. You have to stop that shit if you want to get healthy. And by getting healthy that way, your mind follows. Okay? But it's such a process and it's so hard you can't just start with one thing. You have to just start. So I don't think these diets are the end all be all. Vegans, I think, are dumb. No meat, no protein? I don't think so. I feel the best I've ever felt with a higher protein diet. And I have a weird theory that the rawer the food, the better for you, because this is another one of my strange hypotheses I've come up with, is that human beings are the only species that cooks food. No other animal cooks anything. I don't see a shark flipping on his grill. I don't see um, you know, the hawk sauteing his dove before he eats it. No. It's only human beings will cook food. So I almost feel like you can eat a piece of rare, uncooked meat. And then there's a bunch of health fucking people right now that go fucking crazy. Oh no, you get salmonella and bacteria. And I'm just like, you're right. Yeah, I get it. It kills the bacteria. That's why we cook it, right? I'm saying that if animals do it all the time and they don't die, there's a good chance you're not going to either. But I understand that bacteria exist. I'm not retarded. I'm saying the more rare like a steak is, probably you will get more nutrients and just feel more vibrant from it. Okay. Yes, you want to cook chicken straight through. Okay. Just to cover these bases. And if you think what I'm saying is that you should eat raw meat always, I'm like, you're stupid. You're not listening. What I do know to be true, especially from my own experience, is eliminate anything you can't pronounce. No processed food, not even in moderation, because it sucks. And don't get me wrong, almost eliminate it. Do 99.5%. Leave room for error. Because I still, like I said, I have my vices. I still like Doritos as junk food, right? I still will have processed turkey deli meat here and there. I am. I don't make homemade bread. I buy the store-bought and stuff that has the least amount of shit that I can find. Preferably no soy, but that's virtually impossible today to find bread without soy, right? Nothing. No Cheerios, no fruit, because this is how your mind fucks with you. Your mind will tell you, well, I can have a bowl of Cheerios, it's a little bit of sugar. I can have that. I can have 3 or 4 Oreo cookies. See, do or do not, man. There is no try. If you just don't do it and you can stick with that discipline, you'll be all right. And it's hard, but you have to want to do it. Don't lie to yourself. And then you see people walking around as like zombie fucking hordish whales going, I do know why I'm depressed. And even people who aren't big and fat, you still see people, because it's the opposite way. They're obsessed with their bodies and they're just wanting to stay thin. And they think that's the main goal, right? And so they were just, weight loss is the only goal, right? I got to lose all this weight. I've lost 70 pounds in the last 3 years. And I did that by slowly tapering off bullshit, slowly working my way into better eating habits, slowly doing stuff. And I experimented with myself, You have to experiment with you. There is no exact right way to do this shit, is what I'm trying to also say. Don't think like if you get on keto, that's the answer. Don't think if you're a vegan, you know better, because that's not it. You know you better. So you have to be honest with yourself. And this is a running theme for all my streams, is always be honest with yourself and try to do things best that you know what happens when you eat a dairy, Dairy is another one. Dairy should be minimized, I believe. No fucking cow's milk. If you're going to drink milk, raw goat milk, probably, right? I still eat eggs a lot because I feel like the egg embryo is a great source of protein and nutrients. Again, the rawer the food, the better. And eggs always go back and forth. Like, fuck everything you know about the food pyramid, because that's ridiculous. The food pyramid was a programming machine of nonsense when I was a kid, telling me that I needed more bread, less meat. Like, I think it's the other way. I think you really need more meat than anything. More meat. Because we're carnivorous, right? And we eat meat all the time. Like, it's fine. It's fine. So, again, and I really think you can treat your depression by this eating. And there's a lot of people that always argue, like, well, you can always have a diet soda. You can have a yogurt that's filled with a bunch of chemicals. It's like, no, dude, don't. And by people, I usually mean women. I know. Sometimes people don't like when I say that, but it's usually the ladies that say this stuff. The men don't say it. Men get shit and then they go, yeah, that's right. But women have this thing where they'll read an article or two and be like, that's totally what it is now. I'm like, that's not it. And women, poor things, are they're obsessed with their body image. It's a rampant thing in this world where women just want to look good, and for God knows why or what reason, but that always lies up here because you gotta get your mind right. If you don't get your mind right, you can't get anything else right. Get your mind right, the body will follow, which is really hard because the shit you put into your body programs your mind to think everything's okay. So you're really fucked a lot in this Western world. You're so fucked. But it's not hopeless. It's not despair. It's, dude, I climbed out of there. Being sober helps. If you're a boozer or drugs of any kind, get rid of it. None. The clean, yeah, because in moderation, like maybe, because that's true. There are people like the most people over 100 years of age accumulated in one area on this globe, Earth, is in Okinawa, Japan. They have the most people that are 100 years plus on Earth. Okinawa, tiny island. Why? Look at what they eat. They're like farmers over there. They eat a lot of fish, stuff like that. They're very in touch with family, community, helping other people. I think there's a connection there with being less depressed. They don't even know what fucking depression is in Okinawa. They're like, we sing songs and drink sake all day. See, that's an exception. They could drink sake. But if you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, I don't think you should fucking, I don't think you should do any of that stuff. So health is more than just physical. Health is also mind. Okay. What you put into your mind has a lot to do with your own physical stuff, and this world has made it acceptable for people to be fat, and it's okay because people don't want to be told the truth that it's not okay. You might accept that, but in here, dude, don't tell me you're not fucking dying. Okay, don't tell me that you're okay. Don't tell me that everything is you're perfectly wonderful with having breathing problems and all this other shit that you can do something about. Because you don't have to, because that's a cop out for not taking responsibility for shit and doing something about your situation. It's up to you to lose weight. It's up to you to get healthy. You're responsible for you. It's all on you. What are you going to do about it? You're going to bitch, moan, and complain and make everybody else's life miserable? Or are you going to say, fuck it, I'm going to do something about it? And I know, people, it's fucking hard. I'm a procrastinator to the end of time. I didn't want to ever do anything until I absolutely necessary. And it's fucking hard. But I learned to experiment with myself we'll start with food. And I believe most of your depression, your mind, your anxieties, your worries, your fears, all that can be eliminated through eating and not by a specific diet. Because I hate the word diet. The word die is in there. Meat, vegetables, and fruit. Yeah, there's nuts and all that shit too, whatever grains to make bread. I get that. Meat, vegetables, fruit. Anything that grew. See? I might be healthy, but I am illiterate and I don't know how to speak words sometimes. Anything that is grown naturally is probably okay to eat, aside from the things we know are poisonous and stuff, okay? People have dumb arguments sometimes. Like when you speak truth like that, people are like, but there's a bush with those berries, and if you eat those berries, it'll just make you shit your brains out. That's not true. You can't eat everything. It's like that doesn't change reality. It's just a shitty argument and a shitty rebuttal to the argument. Truth. So experiment with yourself. Again, meat. Lots of it. Carbs. I love bread. I'm not gonna lie, but I know when I eat more of it, and sugar, of course, sugar is the easiest one to eliminate. If you have a problem with eating animals, picture yourself without society, no grocery stores, and you were out in the woods and you saw a deer and you were starving. I think you would make an exception. So don't think the animal. Trust me, I see, baby. I saw. You get that when you're looking at it's different when you're buying that meat off the shelf, from you don't know where it came from. You didn't have a connection with the animal. Well, that's even better. I think farming's the way to go. In all honesty, farm, get a chicken coop, have some eggs, kill your own food there, eat it. You'll be one with the animal. Everything will be good. It's respect. It's honor. You're grateful, that you got to eat that day. It's all perception and mindset, man, because sometimes that your mind, we live in a world where we have everything, but yet people still feel like they got nothing. That's weird. You literally have everything I could pull out my phone and order things, buy things, do anything with my cell phone today. Yet people are still depressed and anxious at an alarming rate today. And I wonder why. Well, one, don't pump your head full of a bunch of nonsense. Stop watching television. That helps with your health too. Seriously, I stopped watching TV 3 years ago, and I'm so glad I did. I used to lay in bed and watch endless TV shows and hours and be depressed. And I'm like, oh, my life's not getting better. I'm like, well, because I'm laying in bed watching fucking TV all day. Remember the old couch potato things from like the 80s? That's because the TV was a mind control device that actually worked. And as long as you were in front of it, you were being zapped with a bunch of nonsense programming. The good news about TV was like you can leave your house and still go outside, and people did forever. But now we've got the cell phone, which is the TV with you 24/7, that little screen that, scrolling on the old social media is just in tune. Just, oh my God. Oh, things and stuff. Now they got you by the balls all the time. But the good thing is, if you're aware of what that device is and what the TV is and was and what it's actually used for, you can navigate around the bullshit. You don't have to be programmed. It's up to you to make that decision for yourself. Accept reality. Reality is reality, folks, not the things you think about in your head. What's in your head is in your mind, and not necessarily the reality. It all comes from fear. You want to lose weight? That's your sole goal? Okay. What happens after you get to that goal? Do you continue that way of life? See, you have to make things a way of life, I found out. That's the trick. That's the reality. Is you have to make things a way of life. You can't just do it for till you hit that goal and then stop. You have to continue on. You have to make that commitment. Don't drink pop. Don't drink diet anything. Don't drink anything with soy. And eat anything with soy. Nothing with chemicals, nothing processed, no more cereal, right? No more bullshit, right? Natural stuff, meat, vegetables, fruit, butter, fine. Butter's great because butter I think is good. But no cow's milk from the store that's pumped full of like hormonal blockers for dudes who don't, never go through puberty because they're drinking that shit. And the ladies are just blossoming younger and younger. It's weird. And don't tell me people don't notice this stuff. I'm only 35 and I've noticed crazy shit happening in this world. So, hopefully you've got good parents at home that don't succumb to nonsense, but I see it all the time. I see whole families out on their little soul sucker cell phones, complete at the table. They're all zombied out, man. I'm really grateful for my folks because they were really they played a lot of game. We played games, we hung out. We didn't just watch TV all day. Thank God for that. And it was sucked me in at a point in time too, where I was just sucked in to the fucking to the fucking bullshit. And I still can. I can fucking mindlessly start scrolling through Instagram or Facebook. I'm like, what the fuck? The only reason I'm on those sites is for this. It's the one way to get to people other than having your own direct website. But if I had a direct website, I don't know if anybody would show up, but it doesn't matter because I do this anyway because I like to speak truth and I like to be honest because there's too much bullshit out in the world. George Carlin had it right. He's like, tell the truth. Don't be bullshitting people. There's enough bullshit as it is. And it's just so fucking true. And the truth about diets is none of them are guaranteed to work. Nothing's guaranteed. Number one, you should see. Always go back to the root of everything. Nothing's guaranteed in life, folks. Everything's temporary. Okay, you won't be young forever. Okay, you're gonna get old. You will probably lose your looks. Your skin's gonna sag. You'll get fat one day. But if you want to have a better life to get that mind right, there's things you can do. So choose to do them or don't. I don't tell people what to do. I try to live the life, and that's what I've noticed. People who live the life are not the ones telling people what to do, right? The people who are telling people what to do are not living what they're fucking telling people to do at all. Tell the truth, but they're lying crazy. Eat right, but they're not. It's like we're all hypocrites. We're all hypocrites, myself included. I'm a hypocrite. I know this. This is why I'm aware. So everything in moderation, fuck that. It's such a cop out for lack of discipline in your undisciplined life. Everything in moderation. Yeah. Well, no. But then again, you have to ask yourself that. I find that eliminating all chemically processed soy-induced food is the way that is the best way to go. And then just meat, vegetables, and fruit. It's really simple. It's not that hard. It's not these complex diets. I got to scoop out a half a cup of nuts, and then I got to add 3 strawberries and a half a blueberry. No, that's so fucking dumb. And it's just another way to keep you thinking about shit instead of the reality of things. This is what exists. Animals exist to be eaten. Fruit and vegetables are there for food. And the process of life continues. That's why human beings, I love and hate us so much, is because we're so fucking smart. We're dumb. We overcomplicate the shit out of everything. So you don't want to do the work, so you want like a computer screen in your pocket to do the work for you, which is so fucking retarded. Oh, excuse me. Oh, shit. Pardon me. All right. What else do I got on this fucking list? So, in all, for me, now I don't crave really any shitty food. I might start to eat like a piece of shit food here and there. Like baked goods are still like a thing, like banana bread, homemade banana bread. If that's there, it's gone in like a half a day. But you got to ask yourself those honest questions. You have to be honest with yourself, man. If you sit there and go, there's no way it can change. I'm like, yep, well, you told yourself that. So that is your reality. And that's probably what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis. But you know what? If you make the hard choice, which is do something different, it'll happen, man. It can. And maybe you don't. Maybe you're perfectly content being, whatever you are. Trying not to be insulting today, but that would defeat the purpose of telling the truth. Fat and health problems and shit, but that's the thing, that even that sometimes doesn't care, because this is what's making the decisions. Your mind will justify every shitty choice you ever made because I deserve it. I deserve to eat a whole sleeve of Oreos because my boyfriend broke up with me. No, No, you don't. That's just evil sipping into your mind, telling you it's okay when you know it's not. But you got to tell yourself that. You got to tell yourself that. So, what's the solution, folks? I have found that, if you're going to do diets, great, but make it a way of life, not just a goal to do like a weight loss thing. I dropped 70 pounds, not because I wanted to, but it was a byproduct of getting my mind right first and making better choices first. Better choices today equal better results tomorrow. And that's how you do it, a day at a time, a couple of different things a day, just small baby steps. Baby step your way into fucking greatness. That's how we all come out. When we are babies, we don't fucking come out. We're like one of the only species that has to learn to crawl and walk. You have to learn new habits in life. You have to learn to make better decisions each day to get where you want to go. And it's a little bit by little bit, and the little bits by little bits accumulate over time. Then you're fucking there. And then once you're there, keep going. Don't stop. Don't say like, well, no, I'm here. And you just stop doing all that hard work. No, man, keep it going. And then listen to your body when it tells you to rest. Listen to your mind. It's like your body will tell you when shit's wrong. Listen to it. When you get older, you got to start listening to it. When you're fucking 55 years old, you might not be able to, lift the old 250 bench press anymore. It's like you gotta, your shoulder's giving out. It's a lot of years of pushing on shit. Honesty. Hey. So, God, excuse me. Meat, fruit, veggies. That's the solution. No processed anything. No soda, no diet, no Cheerios, no fucking Oreos, no Chips Ahoy, no Twinkies, no Ho-Hos, none of it. And it's so tempting when you're at the. I know it. I know grocery stores do this on purpose. You're about to go out to the checkout the grocery store. There's always a fucking end cap of just fucking cinnamon rolls and fucking buns and Twinkies and Ho-Hos and cupcakes. It's just there. Fucking snowballs. They're there because they know when you're checking out, you're like, oh, well, maybe we'll just take one for later. Choose to not take the Twinkie. Choose not to take the Twinkie. Fuck diets. The word die is in there. It's weird. It might be some kind of weird spell thing. You might think that's stupid, but okay. Good luck. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I just speak truth from my own perspective and fuck the rest. No processed food. Yeah, like seriously. If you didn't kill, like no deli meat, no deli anything, no fucking God, even I had to be honest with myself and veer away from Townhouse crackers. I love Townhouse crackers. They're my favorite, but they fucking increase the soy level. I've noticed this about certain foods. When you read the labels of food, you know that the first thing is the main ingredient, right? And then it goes down from there about, how much the portion is in the food, right? I noticed that soy used to be at the very bottom of the cracker. So that's how I justified eating the cracker. And then I noticed lately they moved it somewhere towards the middle. Like they've increased the soybean oil amount. And men don't need soy. It's not good for you anyway. It's shitty oil, shitty cheap oil that's in everything. There's a reason why we're all fucking inflamed and ballooned up and fat and depressed. And I have a feeling it's got a lot to do with soy, men and women alike. So I've had to not eat crackers, and I love crackers for a snack. And I really try not to eat it. And it's really hard to try to find already made food that doesn't have chemically induced shit that you can't pronounce or or soy. It sucks it's made my diet limited. Again, meat, vegetables, fruit. I stick with that. Eggs, a little bit of cheese, but even the cheese sometimes you got to watch out. Make sure there's no soy in that. It shouldn't be, but you never know. Again, but you realize you don't need all that bullshit food. You don't need Doritos. You don't need Taco Bell. You don't need that shit. You want that shit. You need meat, vegetables, and fruit because it's got all those vitamins and nutrients that you need in them. And you don't need to portion them out. But it creates a discipline if you do a half a cup of oats and then 1.5 strawberries. It's like, it's too much work. Too much work. Just, just eat. Don't eat shit. Try to stay away from heavy sugars. No process. You'll be fine. Those are the solutions. Those are the solutions that I suggest to people. And I'm 70 pounds lighter. Great health. I feel good. My mind's not crazy. I'm not fucking anywhere close to being depressed. And I rarely get anxious. Okay. So, with that said, at least people try. I give people credit, People try with the whole diets and everything else like that. And I give them credit. At least you're stepping in the right direction. You know something's wrong and you become aware of it. And that's the key, is becoming aware of something and then making the choice to do something about it. Right? Good for you. Keep that shit up. Talk to people if you don't know about something. Get some perspective on stuff. That helps. Getting out of your own fucking head and thinking you know better is definitely the way to go. So I'm gonna go. What was the shit I was gonna talk about next week? I don't remember. I'll have to watch this and figure it out. Anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you for watching the No Nonsense live stream. Don't take yourself too seriously.